Yet I was too afraid that I would lose Leo, that my horrid thoughts would send me to a mental ward, or worse yet, prison, and that I'd never see Leo again. I'd have panic attacks or go silent as my thoughts took over. My sister Michelle would call me daily and calm me down. I felt comforted knowing that she was on the line. My mum lived next door and most days would just come and sit with me. I was too afraid to be alone with my thoughts. My husband Hugh would secretly call my friends and ask them to visit. They'd bring me lunch, make me a cup of tea, and even help me start Leo on solids. They knew something wasn't right, but I think they were too afraid to say something that might tip me over the edge. Then one day, I explicitly told Mum that I was contemplating suicide. She knew I was serious, and she was determined not to lose another child that way. She immediately phoned Dr. Humphreys, and luckily I got in to see her that day. Yet I was still afraid that Dr. Melinda Humphreys would have had me locked up and take Leo from me. So I went under the guise of Leo being unwell. Luckily, Melinda saw through this. She asked my mum to leave the room and began asking me a series of questions. I finally broke down and told her everything. She wrote me out a mental health care plan, a script for antidepressants, and a referral to a psychiatrist. When the psychiatrist diagnosed me with generalised anxiety disorder and postnatal depression, things started to get better. I got medication to help with my anxiety. For the first 2 weeks, it exacerbated my suicidal thoughts, which is a common side effect. Mum monitored me while he was at work, and then it started to really help. I also saw a psychologist at Tweddle Child and Family Health, with the support under the mental health care plan. At first, I resisted this treatment. I was still too afraid to speak up about my horrid thoughts. But as I began to trust the psychologist, I realised that the therapy was helping me work through my issues, including my brother's death. I was very lucky that my husband Hugh came with me to my initial visits and still loved me in spite of the person I had become. I know now that this treatment played an important role in my recovery, not to mention the love and support of my GP, my family, and my close friends. I only wish that I'd spoken up sooner. I really want to get the message across to anyone who's struggling to please get help as quickly as possible so that recovery is not delayed. I can't tell you exactly the day that things started to shift for me, but I can tell you what I did start to notice. For one, I began opening the blinds one by one. I felt the fog lift and I began socialising and making friends with new mums in my area. I realised, and most importantly, I saw my beautiful baby boy Leonardo wanting his mummy so much. I realised how precious he is to me, and I felt an overwhelming sense of love and happiness